everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new around here, my name is Kimber Kelly with Rustic Touch Beauty. I have been a licensed cosmetologist for over 10 years now, and I just love talking about all things hair, skin, makeup, nails, beauty, just all things beauty. So if that's something that interests you, then make sure to tap that bell and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss a beat. Today I am really excited for this video. It's one that I know I've been needing to make for a while, and it just kept getting put on the back burner. And so here we are. Number one question I get with my job is, what makeup brushes do you recommend? And honestly, I use a lot of different brushes, and sometimes it's hard to know what brush is for what. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down what each Seint brush is used for. If you don't know already, I am an artist for a makeup company called Seint. So the makeup that I use and have loved for the past almost 4 years now is Seint. So that is what you will see me using on this channel. Every now and then I incorporate other things into it, but for my main foundation, my main makeup, it is Seint. If you are interested in getting a color match to this makeup so that you know exactly what shades you are for your skin tone, then go ahead and click on the link below in the description box and submit a free color match. Totally free, it's complimentary. And once I receive your submission, I will send back all of my recommendations within 24 to 48 hours via text and email so that you have contact with me for whatever questions that you have. Seint does have tons of brushes. Here is all of the 3D foundation brushes. We also have a line called Demi, but I'm not going to be working with those brushes today. These ones are going to be strictly for if you're doing 3D foundation, these are the brushes to use. Now, we do have a brush collection where you can save a little bit of money and get brushes in bulk and have them in a collection. The brushes that come in the collection are the detail brush, the buff brush, the 3D brush, which is probably our most popular brush, the blend brush, the multitasker brush, the smudge brush. Lastly, the line brush. This is used for brows, eyeliner, anything fine detailed. My other two favorite brushes that honestly I use a lot are the blush and bronzer brush and the powder brush. These two brushes come in a collection of their own. The blush and bronzer brush comes in a collection with one of our bronzers, and you save a little bit of money there, and you only really pay $4 for the bronzer. And then the powder brush you do get in a collection as well with our setting powder. So again, you save a little bit of money by bundling those. That is why these two brushes are not included in the big brush collection, because they come in a collection of their own. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do my makeup. It's a little gloomy out today, so it's not nearly as bright for the camera, but hopefully it's still gonna work. So I've got my compact here. Again, all my makeup is in one single compact. I love putting my eyeshadows on top because I have this mirror right here to be able to see up close. And then on the bottom, I just have my highlight colors right here, which is what you would think of as your typical foundation. Then I have my contour, bronzer, lip and cheek, and illuminator. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with the 3D brush. It looks like this. This is probably Seint's most popular brush. If you're gonna go with one brush, a lot of my clients really like this brush if you can only pick one. I will be totally honest, this brush I actually probably use the least just because I have other brushes that I love better, but I wanted to show you guys how you can use this if you were to only go with one brush. So first thing that I'm going to start with is my color corrector. So this is meant for any areas of redness, discoloration, acne, blemishes, under eyes, things like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and tap in that color, and you wanna make sure you are tapping your bristles in there, not wiping it. If you want more detailed explanation of that, head back to my introduction video to Seint makeup because that is full of lots of knowledge. Don't need a ton of product. You can see I really don't have a lot of product on here. And then I'm just gonna start by applying this in areas where I have redness, which is right on my cheeks here, my nose, and I'm applying in kind of this circular motion. You want to do this so that you avoid any bristle brush strokes on your face when you're applying. And with Seint, because it's a cream, you always want to make sure that you are applying in thin layers and kind of building on top of that. You don't want to go in really thick because it is a cream. A little goes a long way with cream. So it is a buildable foundation, but you want to build it in thin layers at a time. And I'm going to take this on my eyes here. As you can see, my eyes are extremely red. Same with over here. I really like to blend my makeup as I go. You can really do it however you prefer. Some people prefer to blend it as they go like me. Some people prefer to apply it all at once and then blend it once. It's kind of really up to you. Now I'm actually going to go in with my finger here just to apply a little bit more right here on the inner corners. I like using my finger sometimes for things like this because this is such a delicate area and I can really feel the product so that I know that I'm not putting too much on my under eye. You never want to apply too much makeup in that area, otherwise it will crease. Okay, next color I'm going to do is my main shade. I'm actually going to flip this brush around and we're going to start with this end. Remember to tap your bristles into that color, never swipe. And then we're going to apply right here along my jaw. So this is going to be my main color. It's going to match my skin the closest. Okay, we're gonna switch gears a little bit and I'm going to be using this brush right here, which is the blush and bronzer. I love, love, love this brush for blending. So I'm gonna work with this small end here and we're gonna go in circular motions to start to blend those colors in. Okay, so again, we're back to the 3D brush. If you were to only get one brush, this end is great for applying your highlight, blending your highlight. This end is great for applying your contour and then flipping it back over and blending in the contour with this end. Then you can apply your blush with your finger, use this end to blend it in. You can really do a lot with your face with just this one brush. Okay, next brush is the powder brush, okay? I'm gonna be working with this end first to apply my brightener. So for my brightener is right here. I'm just tapping that bristle right in there. We're gonna go in the center, like that. Side of face, then up. And again, working up. I'm gonna kind of dip the tip of that brush and go down the center of my nose, like that. Chin here, above the brow. So that is kind of my brightener that I applied using this end. Now we're gonna flip it over to this kind of lipstick end right here, and I'm gonna start dabbing that color in because I don't want to do swirling motions because I want to keep that color kind of centralized right where I applied it. So I'm just going to be kind of dabbing that color in there. This brush is also amazing for applying setting powder. I am not one that's huge on setting powder, so I really don't use it a lot. But when I do, this lipstick end is awesome because it really fits in nicely to these kind of awkward pockets on our face. The angle of the brush is really, really good for that. Okay, so for contour, I actually like using 2 different brushes, and you can honestly use one of these brushes for all of contouring, or you can split it up kind of like I'm going to show you in this video. So the first brush is the detail brush, and we're going to be kind of using this fan end. Dip that into contour. Remember, we're still tapping that color, okay? We're not getting a ton of product on that bristle. And we're going to take it and apply to the forehead right here. And then I like to kind of brush that color up into my hairline and then kind of fan it down on my forehead to kind of spread that color out. The reason why I like putting it up into my forehead is so that I don't have this like white line that's left here. Now, you can either take this same brush and kind of press your contour up underneath your cheekbone, or you can take the buff brush, which looks like this. I love this brush for contouring. This small end is amazing on cheekbones. The buff brush is also great if you really like to have full coverage. Bristles are very, very dense on the buff brush, so you're gonna get more of a full coverage with these, which is why I like using the small end of the buff brush for contouring my cheekbones. Again, you're just lightly tapping that color in there. You're gonna start kind of at the back here of your cheekbone, and I love this because watch, it domes so perfectly on my cheekbone. The angle is, it just fits right under my cheekbone really, really nice. So I am a fan of using this brush for contouring specifically my cheekbones. And then you can kind of take the extra and put it under your lip to kind of give it like a pouty lip look. Then you're going to kind of turn the brush, and you want to dip just kind of this tip of the bristles right here is going to go into the contour, kind of tapping just the tip there. And we're going to contour the nose. See how it gives just a really nice line? Just like that. We're gonna go back to the detail brush, and again, I'm gonna tap into my contour. You don't need to pick up a ton of color, okay? See how you can honestly like barely see any makeup on there? You really wanna use less is more with this makeup. I am telling you, less is more. And then we're just gonna take that contour and go right here on the jaw and kind of chisel out those features. And then you can kind of take it and bring it down your neck just a little bit. All right, and now we're gonna blend this. So I like to first flick those bristles up and back, keeping that contour right in the same place. So first flick the color up and then bring it back, just like that. Now, if you feel like you got too much contour, do not wipe it off. I'm going to show you how you can fix that. Grab the blush and bronzer and just lightly soften that. Kind of softening the outer edges and keeping that middle nice and dark. Next brush we're using is we're coming back to the blush and bronzer, but we're gonna use this fluffy end of the brush. And I am just going to dip into my bronzer. This is Bella. If you are not using cream bronzer, you are missing out on life. So get yourself some cream bronzer. My daughter is back here sleeping, so if you hear little noises, that is her. Okay, and now I'm going to apply right here on my temple. Woo! See that? Here. Here. And just kind of bring it down in like a C shape. You can even kind of pinch it like this to dip in there and apply right here. Kind of on the tops of your cheekbones to just create warmth within the skin. So you kind of want to work bronzer in a C shape like that. You can also take bronzer and just go right here on the center of your throat and blend that in. This is just going to help kind of blend your neck and chest to your face and give your neck and chest the warmth that it needs. Next brush is the blend brush. This side is great for small detail. This side is great for blending. If you are one with mature skin, this brush will be your best friend for honestly applying all of your makeup. It gives a really nice light application with your makeup, but still allowing you to be able to build upon that. So I'm going to use the smaller end of this brush to dip into my blush. This color is Ruby. It's one of my favorites right now. It is so, so pretty. So I'm just gonna start by applying right here on the tops of my cheekbones. And yes, you really are using that little of makeup. So just imagine how long this blush will last you, like forever, because a little goes such a long way. Then I'm gonna flip that brush over and use this end, and we're just gonna blend that color up. If you were going to be using a powder illuminator, this end of the blend brush is perfect for applying illuminator just right here, very lightly. However, I love cream illuminator, so I'm gonna move over to the smudge brush. Looks like this, and I'm gonna use kind of this more flat end right here, and I'm gonna dip that into my cream illuminator. That way I can be more precise with where I'm applying illuminator. So I am going to go right here underneath my brow bone on both sides. I'm also going to put a little bit right here above my lip. This is called the Cupid's bow right here. I'm going to apply a little bit to the tip of my nose. Then I'm going to apply it just right along here on the tops of my cheekbones so that I can be more precise with that brush. And then I'm also going to put a little bit on the inner corner of my eye just to help bring some youthful dewiness to my eyes a little bit. So we're gonna move on to brows. And for that, I'm going to be using the line brush. I'm just gonna get my brow wax wet a little bit with setting spray. And I'm almost out of my wax, so I really have to be strategic in how I get the wax on here, but you just want to kind of get wax all over the little spoolie end here, and we're just gonna start kind of applying that wax all over the brow hairs. I like to wear my eyebrows kind of going up. This just helps create a lot of fullness through my brows. Just like that. Do the same to the other side. And then for my brows, I actually love to use eyeshadow or just a brow pen. It kind of just depends on the look that I'm going for. But today, since I'm showing you how I use the brushes, I'm going to show you how I do my brows using the line brush. And then all I do is I spray a little bit of setting spray into just a little cup. This is a lid. I'm going to dip the angled end here into that setting spray, and then I'm going to tap it into my eyeshadow, and this creates, by doing this, it creates almost like an eyeliner. And so I love it for brows. You can use this brush for eyeliner if you want to get like a really tight line or a really pretty winged eyeliner. This line is, or this end of the brush is great for that. Okay, now that brows are done, let's do just a really quick, simple eyeshadow using the smudge brush. Looks like this, and we're gonna start out with kind of this more paddled flat end here. And I'm just gonna dip it into this light brown color here. And this is gonna be my base. Okay, now that I have my base color down, I'm gonna flip the brush over to more of this kind of domed end here, and we're gonna use the color Coco, which is this really pretty dark brown color, and we're gonna use this on kind of the outer corner of my eye. Okay, then I'm actually going to switch over to the eyeshadow brush. This brush does not come in the collection, but this is like my go-to brush for all eyeshadow looks. So I'm going to use this smaller end here, and I'm going to dip that into this color here, which is Sabrina. And this one is going to be for like the inner corner of my eye to really bring out some youthfulness to my eyes. Okay, so for sparkly colors like this, anything shimmer, I have found that just using my finger and applying it kind of in a dabbing motion is what applies it best. However, you can use the multitasker brush, which looks like this, and I prefer to use this end here, and you can kind of dab that brush in there. And then when you're applying your eyeshadow, so I'm going to put this color on the center, you can just tap and that will get it applied on there really nice, and kind of keeps that color right where you want it to be. Or just take like your ring finger, dab it in there, and then you can get it right again where you want it to go on your eye, just like that. So there's the difference with the finger. Here it is with the paddle brush, or with the multitasker brush. I feel so weird. Then if you're like me and you kind of get your eyeshadow everywhere, and take the fluffy end of the brush and you'll just kind of lightly blend everything to help soften those colors if you got it a little too dark. This is great for just kind of blending everything together. Then to clean up the eyeshadow, so see how kind of over here it kind of got outside of my eye, and same with this side, I like to take the lipstick end of that powder brush, and I kind of just swoop and go up. Because this still has some leftover brightener on here, I can easily clean up this spot on my face without having to wipe anything away. And again, if you get eyeshadow under your eye here, just take it and swoop it up. I'm gonna get some mascara on and then we'll finish up with lips. Okay, so the last brush is the multitasker brush. So I'm gonna show you guys how you can use this small end for lining your lips, tight lining your eyes, and then this end for applying your lip color. You can also contour, really anything that requires fine detail. I also will use it to cover blemishes. It can be used for so many different things that are kind of teeny tiny areas. So first, I have a couple blemishes that I want to cover. So when you're covering blemishes, you actually want to take your darker color, your darker highlight. So I'm just dipping a little bit, tapping the smaller end of the brush into my darkest highlight. And you want to really focus. So my blemish, of course, is right behind my earring. So let me take this off. I've got a little scar right here. So I'm just going to tap that color only on that scar. And then you can kind of take the other end to dab away any excess. Same right here. I had a zit right here. So I have a little bit of a scar happening while it heals, and so I'm just focusing that color right on that blemish. Okay, next thing, lining your lips for lip color. So I'm going to take that same small end, I'm going to tap it into my contour to line my lips. Now I'm going to take that paddled end here and we're just going to tap that into my color and apply it to my lips. All right, so I'm taking this small end here and I'm going to dip it in my eyeliner, and we're going to tight line my eyes to help kind of define my eyes a little bit more. So tight lining basically means you are just adding a little bit of eyeliner. I like to apply it on my waterline, but you're just really keeping that eyeliner right along the edge of your eyelashes. There really are a ton of things you can do with this. Another thing I like to do is you can take this small end here, kind of that flatter paddle end, dip it into your contour, and you can contour your nose. If you are wanting to get it like really nice and detailed, just take that brush and contour both sides of your nose. And then just blend it in. Okay guys, that is it for all of Seint's brushes. Those are all the different kinds of ways that you can use them. I hope this video helped because I know it can kind of be confusing, and when you're new to makeup, or maybe you don't really wear makeup a whole lot and you see all these brushes and you're like, what the heck are all these brushes for? I hope this video helped with that. There really is so many different ways that you can use these brushes. You can apply this makeup literally with one brush. If you're in a pinch, you're out somewhere and all you brought was one brush, there are ways to make that work, but there's also a lot of uses for each of these brushes. As always, thank you so much for tuning in and watching this week's video. If you found this video at all helpful to you, make sure to like this video, tap that bell, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys next week.